Minecraft has never been shy of adding new biomes. I mean, over the past 3 years alone, we've seen 12 brand new biomes released in that time. It makes the worlds feel more varied, it makes seek searching way more interesting, and it overall is just a positive to the game. But something I've noticed lately is that Minecraft has been focusing more and more on adding sub-biomes as opposed to completely original biomes. From the Mangrove Forest 1.19, to the Cherry Grove in 1.20, to even the Pale Garden in the most recent update, sub-biomes for the most part seems to be the way Minecraft wants to take adding new biomes going forward. But why is that? Why is the focus on adding new biomes shifted to just making different types of existing biomes? And it might not seem too obvious at first, but there's actually some very pronounced and obvious reasons as to why Minecraft is leaning more towards sub-biomes now, which for some people might not seem so great on the surface. But in actuality, while not perfect by any sense of the imagination, this is actually probably the most efficient and best way as to adding new biomes. But what really made the developers shift into this method into adding biomes? Well, to figure that out, we have to go all the way back to 1.6, a version of Minecraft with maybe about 10-ish biomes or something like that inside the game. I know things are all kinds of weird. I usually shift with C, but I gotta shift with shift. But yeah, I think the issue became most apparent not inside of 1.6, but instead 1.7.2. The update that changed the world, literally adding in several different types of biomes that completely revolutionized the way we play the game. But instead of it just adding in different types of biomes, it would instead kind of break a lot of existing biomes, such as this example we can see right here with huge slabs of wall generating from the old chunks into the new chunks, and this would happen for updates upon updates upon updates for several cycles, for several years. And there's some very obvious examples of this as we can see around here, and this was such a huge issue that we didn't see any major new updates to biomes or anything like that for several years to come. Apart from adding new structures to biomes, we didn't really see any examples of brand new biomes coming inside the game. That was the case for multiple years, up until 1.13, the update Aquatic, which actually added several new types of oceanic biomes, but instead of it doing what we saw before, where it completely changed the way seeds actually generated, it would actually just change one part of the landscape while keeping every other different type of aspects inside the seed untouched. This would then allow us to have probably a dozen or so different types of sub-ocean biomes scattered across the entirety of the ocean, making aquatic exploration a very viable and very interesting journey. And I think Update Aquatic was the update that actually gave the developers the idea of adding sub-biomes, biomes that can be added but won't completely change how seeds actually generate. One, to prevent those huge walls of update terrain, but two, as to not completely ruin the seed experience and not completely ruin and change how seeds actually generate. And for a good few years, seeds would pretty much stay the same. There'd still be plenty of new things added inside of worlds, but the overall basis of the seeds would not be changed in any major way until the 1.18 Caves and Cliffs Part 2 update. Because of the additions of multiple new types of biomes, as well as a new vertical build height, Mojang thought it best to change seeds up again. But instead of this time of having to deal with those really ugly flat walls, Mojang would instead find ways of actually transitioning from the old generation to the new generation pretty much seamlessly. So seamlessly that I can't even find an example to it. But this is pretty much where seeds stand at today, because now that we have all these new types of biomes, now that we have the new elevation, what's really the point of completely changing seed generation again? Obviously the main thing, adding new biomes, but people aren't really akin of having to relearn seeds and have to rework seeds every single time a new update with a new biome comes out. But then I'd imagine the developers look back at 1.13 and just imagine maybe this could be the blueprint as to how we could add new types of biomes without completely reworking seeds as a whole. We could find ways on still varying the Minecraft world, but without completely changing it as a whole. But even with the sub-biome route, they do still find ways on adding huge, unique types of biomes on their own. And I'm of course talking about the Deep Dark, a biome which on its own doesn't seem too huge, but realistically is a way we see as to how Minecraft can add new types of huge biomes without completely uprooting seed generation as a whole. Yes, it is easier doing it because it was completely underground and there were too many underground biomes at the time, but it does still prove that there are ways we can add huge unique biomes on their own without completely uprooting seeds. But even with that, I still imagine Minecraft is going to be adding new types of biomes based on the sub-biome routes. It might not be perfect, as it could be limiting in some cases, but if that does mean us keeping existing seeds and not having to completely relearn and refine new types of seeds with already existing things we like inside them, then I suppose this is a fine way on adding new biomes, so long as it's not limiting the creativity or anything like that. But yeah, let me know what you think of sub-biomes down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.